Baksha.
Still good.
See how people, man, they out here want to walk around and mingle, walk hand in hand with the devil, man. They want to walk hand in hand with the devil, and it's a problem, right? She wanted some TV time. We're going to give her some TV time. She said she was going to flash the camp. She said she was going to flash the camp. Come on, you going to make good on your promise, or you going to be a liar in the earth? Huh? Are you going to be a liar? Me, you just made a deal. You said you're going to flash the camp. All right? You said you was going to flash the camp. You don't remember that? Oh, she's a liar in the earth, man. Listen. Give me Proverbs 11 and 21. All right? This is a problem with our people, right? See, she came with sweet words. She tried to make an allegiance with Captain. She didn't know who the hell I was, man. All right? Hold on. Real quick. Are you mad? You want to cover the camera now? We were just having such a cordial conversation. Now I get the microphone, now you want to switch up? Come on. I said I wanted to. Oh, but she forgets it's on camera. She forgets it. She tried, wait. Listen. I got the microphone, so I'm going to relay what she said. She said that I wanted to fuck her later. What? Don't we know white woman spelled backwards is pork? Give me Leviticus 11 and 7. Proverbs 11 and 21. And you give me Psalms, what is that? 55, 20. You got it. Give me Leviticus 11 and 7. I'm going to show you something right now. See, now you done messed up. Now you done fucked up, right? Still, Salah. Bring it out.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
Sakai. Hello, they stand up. So the what?
And the swine.
What does the Lord say about the swine? No, she's divided the hoof, right?
And be cloven-footed.
She's pigeon-toed to the moon right now, right?
And he cheweth not the cud.
Go ahead.
He is unclean to you.
The Lord says what? The white woman, which white woman spelled backward, is pork, other known as hog or swine. She is unclean unto us. So how dare you try to come and tell a man of God that I wanted to have any type of relations with you? You're a liar. Bring it out.
Proverbs chapter 11 verse 21.
Real quick, she tried to lie on me, but then again what? She tried to come speaking sweet, swelling words into me. She tried to get me to join forces with her and to join and form an allegiance with her, right? And this is the same thing that her counterparts do to the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians on a countless number of occasions throughout the entire planet Earth. They speak things to you, they try to lower your defenses and play your inhibition, and they get you to join league with them, and then they do what? And they turn around and lie to you, lie on you, and they stab you in the back. Bring it out.
Book of Proverbs chapter 11 verse 21. No hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
And anybody that has failed for the trick, even though you have joined hands and joined forces with them, it says that they're not going to be unpunished. The day is not going to come where you're going to be able to be their ticket in. A so-called white man cannot be the +1 to you getting on the chariot. When you get to the chariot, when you enter into the kingdom of heaven, so-called white man cannot be the +1. They can't come, they're not invited. Bring it out.
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
But the seed of the righteous is the one that's going to be delivered. Unfortunately, young dog, you are not a part of the seed of the righteous, all right? So again, you said you got to go. You said you was got to go. It was fun. Now carry on. Have a good one. Can we what? You want to shake my hand? You just keep trying to figure out a way to touch me. I thought I was the one pursuing you. You keep trying to figure out a way to touch me. You can't touch me, and I really want you to tear up out of a prophet's face right now.
What?
That's really what I want you to do.
Tear up out my face.
Listen. You're not getting anywhere with us. You thought we had something good, huh? You thought we had something good. So did the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. They thought that they had something good when the so-called white man came over here. But guess what? As they soon found out, somebody must have told you wrong. Okay? Now tear up out of here. Alright? Before you get hurt. Bring it out. No. You're gonna hurt yourself. Bring it out.
This is Psalms 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
It says he has put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him, right? He has broken the covenant. She tried to sit up there and come and spread lies on the things that me and you was in the talk about over there. Bring it up. Go ahead. Can I present? Bring it up.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
She was talking big things over there, smoother than butter. She went from trying to curse out the priest, then tried to curse out the other priest, and then when I came up, she seen something in me that said, oh man, you got her moving, you know what I'm saying? Something shot up her spine. And then she starts looking me up and down, her voice starts to soften up a little bit. Then she starts asking for digits and IG pages. You see what I'm saying? You trying to convert? Okay, let's see. Are you for real? Before everyone, you really want to convert? Alright, give me Isaiah 49:23. Let's see. Let's see if you want to convert. I say you're a liar. I say you're gonna lie. Listen, I got money on it right now. I got $100 on it right now. You're gonna lie. Let's see, bring it out.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 23. And king shall be thy nursing father.
So if the kings is gonna be the nursing father, listen, you were talking about you was from Birmingham, Alabama, right? You knew all of the damn history of the black people, right? So what was the black woman slave? What was the black woman slave doing for the white woman? Are you familiar when she was the nursing mother to the children, the white children? Are you familiar with that? No, she's good. Don't worry about it. We're almost, listen. Hold on. Speak. Hold on. I want to say it when you're not talking so everyone can hear it. Okay? You're a bitch, and you're gonna get raped.
That's right!
I also said that you are a victim of incestual molestation, and that's why you want to come and lash out on men, because you're actually not mad at me, you're mad at your father. And you want to come and try to seek help from me, and I can't help you with that. So I'm sorry, okay? And listen, and the fact that it happened to you so early in your life, it's actually affected your development, your physical development. So I'm sorry, okay? You can't even call yourself a woman. In my eyes, to be honest, especially in the world we're living in right now, you're probably not even a woman. You're a dude. So that's what I'm telling the brothers right now. They don't have to get in front of us because I want you to try to do something. I want you to. So they give me all justification it means to give you the meanest Debo uppercut that he gave to Red. Do you know who Debo is? You love black people so much. Who's Debo? You know who Debo is? Do you know who Red is? Why don't you try to talk to me about black people then? Bring it out.
Matthew 4:6.
You're not a woman. You're a boy. Bring it out.
Matthew 4:6. Then said Jesus unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
And the fact that I worship the Most High God, I am not going to lay with you because you are poor. And we just read in the law where swine is unclean, and I should not deal with it. I said because you're poor. Because you're poor. What spells poor? You don't know how to read or write? I don't have a conversation with you. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Where's your friend? Wait. Did you say you was with a dude? Where's your friend at? Wait. Why you keep calling me Tory Lanez? Because you saying Tory Lanez shot Megan? You think Tory Lanez shot Megan? Wait. Where's the proof? Where's your friend? Is your friend?
Yo, this is Tory Lanez.
Oh, okay. That's Tory Lanez? Bring it out. This is the Bible. You believe in the Bible? It's a sick ass book. What's your nationality? I mean, I'm curious. Are you willing to tell? What's your nationality? Hispanic? From where? I'm saying, what type of Hispanic? What's your ethnic background? Your parents are Cuban? So what we're talking about actually pertains to you. We're here to teach that the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians is the Hebrew Israelites, or God's chosen people that we read about in the Bible, right? And one thing we have to understand, in order to really get the true understanding that we're the children of God, you have to recognize that you have an enemy. You gotta recognize you have an enemy. Hey, as a Cuban American, do you think you got an enemy here in this place? Now he wants to walk away. Our people have a problem, man. They don't think we got enemies in this place. That's why it's okay for them walk around hand in hand with them. They don't think we got enemies. Somebody give me Psalms 83. Somebody got enemies.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Somebody give me Psalms 83.
Night session. We see as America's about to fall, we see that the children of Edom is about to present the new king on the throne in Babylon. And you see the title on the YouTube, New Year, New Votes. It's the same devil. We see a lot of our people is entangling themselves with the presidential election. We've been voting for how many years? What have that done for the so-called Negro? Nothing. What have it had done for the so-called Hispanics? Nada. What did it do for the so-called Native Americans? Nothing. And as Israelites, we shouldn't be entangling ourselves with what's going on in America. Because rather, Donald Trump win, America's going to be destroyed according to the will of the Most High. If Biden win, America's going to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire according to the will of the Most High. And this does say the Most High power. Give me Colossians 3:17. I want to go through some small scriptures.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the power and the Abba by him.
Right? So everything we're going to do, we're going to show it throughout the scriptures. Because we're going to go through some small prophecies that still got to go down. A lot of our people is going to cry tonight if Donald Trump will win. Because a lot of us are having hope that he's the one that's going to lead America to its destruction. That he's the one that's going to lead America to being destroyed with thermonuclear fire according to the scriptures. But rather it's Joe Biden or whoever, America's still going to be destroyed. The children of the saints are still going to be saved. And we're still going to go under the covenant of the Most High in the wilderness. These things are still going to happen. Give me Jeremiah 8:20. Jeremiah 8:20. Officer, if you could get a chance and put up that the stats of the current votes right now. Because right now we see what? Donald Trump is at 212, and we see Joe Biden, he's at 224. But less than an hour ago, Joe Biden was still on 224, and Donald Trump was at 118, if I'm correct, right? Mm-hmm. You could go back and put the chat back up there. And we see Joe Trump almost doubled in votes already. Mm-hmm. To let you know, America knows who they want to sit on the throne, rather it's him or not. America knows who they want to sit on the throne. Even the other nations, they know who they want to sit on the throne. When Donald Trump was sick, Ishmael and Elam, they were praying for Donald Trump to
be healed.
They're praying on Donald Trump to bring them to war. They don't want nobody to come to the throne of Babylon and make the nations docile again. Every nation want a piece of the pie. They want war. They want an opportunity to rule. Go ahead and read that scripture, Jeremiah 8:20.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 20. The harvest is past, but summer is ended.
The Most High say the summer has passed and the summer have ended, read.
And we are not saved.
And we're still not saved. We're still in captivity. We're still subject to payments. What did these presidents have done for us? We got to ask ourselves this. What have they done for us lately? You see, it seems like the so-called Negro is more excited about voting than the so-called white man. And this is his country. This is his government. How are you more excited than your oppressor's government? Apart from Officer 1, I wanted you to explain a little bit to the viewers, Officer. What have Trump and what will Joe Biden do for us when he enters into this White House?
That's an easy question.
You go ahead and use my mic.
Okay. So, I don't know if you noticed that they have not proposed anything new for our people besides just platitudes. If they tell you again, they're just for good things, they're against bad things. That person over there is not good for you. I'm good for you. The other side says the same thing. But they haven't shown you any policies that they're willing to do that's going to benefit you. Both Trump and Biden are both against having you keep Social Security. Social Security is what you pay in since the day you start working. but they see it as a cash grab to give to their donors, because with that money it's trillions of dollars in there, but they tell you it's dying out. That has been there since Roosevelt's been in office. That's how long we had Social Security. But they tell you it's a burden, it's a strain. That's your money, and they want to take it and put it in their pockets. They don't have nothing they're offering you. They talk about every year we're going to do something for the economy. We're going to do something for America to build back. But again, all they do is they incentivize putting your jobs overseas so their rich friends can save money, and they can exploit some other poor country and their people. They're not doing anything for us. They give us platitudes. Look it up. You see what it means.
Come, we see it's the same devil, just a different species of devil. That's going to be in the White House. That's it. But read that scripture one more time before we move on to the next one. Read that again.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 20. The harvest is past, but summer is ended, and we are not saved.
And we are not saved. We're still in this captivity. Whether you in America, whether you in South America, whether you in the west coast of Africa, whatever. We're still enslaved. We're still oppressed as a nation of people under the same devil. Give me Baruch 4:15. Give me Baruch 4:15. Lately, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, it seems like the riots has been getting worse. The riots have been getting worse. If Donald Trump wins, that's just going to boost up the confidence of the so-called white man. He's going to be more proud, and it's going to be more on a norm for him to call you nigger. I wouldn't be surprised if he start whistling at our people, saying, "Where you going, boy?" If Joe Biden win, you think the race war ready Edomites are going to sit back and watch America get taken over? Do you really think the skinheads, the biker boys, like Donald Trump says, right? The biker boys, you think they're just going to sit back and just drink Coronas all day and moonshine and let you Negroes go on their Whole Foods, their Publixes?
He just told the Proud Boys to sit back and watch. And about 20 minutes ago, he tweeted that he's winning, but they're still in the election. So that's going to activate his people.
Right.
You already had them going throughout voting areas, driving with the police, by the way, and they're going to intimidate voters with police escort. So he told them to stand by. Now he's saying, pretty much using a dog whistle and say, "Hey, I need some help. Go intimidate voters. Voter suppression. Do what you can to disrupt these people." Like, if you remember anything from politics, in the year 2000 when Bush was running in Florida, they stole that election, and he still became president. So be careful.
Read that, Baruch 4:15.
That's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 15.
Read.
For he had brought a nation upon them from far.
Right.
A shameless nation.
What did the Most High say about them?
A shameless nation.
The Most High said these people is a shameless nation. They're a shameless nation. No matter if they're wearing a suit, whether they're wearing a wrestling suit, an astronaut suit, a doctor's coat, whatever. The Most High said they're a shameless nation. Read.
And of a strange language.
Right.
Who neither reverence old nor pity the child.
They don't have no respect of persons when it comes to oppress the children of Israel. We got to remember, this nation was built on the rape, rob, and murder of the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It was built on our suffering as a nation. So when our people vote, they don't understand the dynamics of what they're voting for. They don't really understand it. When you vote for somebody, that means you're in agreement with everything they're pushing. Everything. I remember last week Friday, the brother said he voted for Obama like it was a good thing. And then we asked him if he was gay, and he got mad. Because you must be okay with it if you voted for Obama, because that's what he was pushing.
Well, a lot of people they're uninformed voters, and that's what these people count on, because you don't have no idea what they're pushing, what their agenda is. All they tell you is that I'm for good things, and I'm against bad things. That's all it is. They never tell you anything else. They're not telling you what policies they're trying to enact that's going to help you or benefit you. If you just follow the money, go to what's this called? OpenSecrets.org. OpenSecrets.org. Look at your favorite politicians, your favorite senators. Follow who is paying them, and look how they vote. You always see that whenever it's something that benefits you, but it never happens. When it benefits a corporation or a business or a bank, they get all the attention. Right now, if you were to go in the House and Senate, you could not see your politician. Their doors are not open to you. Unless you are a big donor, you cannot reach them. You gotta call their office, which is always busy. Their line is always busy. You gotta hit that voicemail. There are business owners that have politicians on speed dial, and they answer that phone real quick because they pay their bills. That's why you don't see your local, anyone from your local offices come in your neighborhood anymore. They don't have to because they don't need your money. They're getting paid to do what these corporations want. That's why they just run ads all day. We're not coming to see how you're doing. One time they would come around to see you when it's an election. That's about it. They pander to you and say, yeah, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And as soon as they get back in office, you never hear from them again. So that's it.
Come, go ahead and give me Psalms 118 and 8. We're about to go through some scriptures, man. Through what we see going on. Because we got to remember, did the Most High allow us to vote in this country? Does the Most High require us to do that? Does the Most High want us to do that? Should we be doing that as a so-called Black American, Hispanic, and Native Americans? Should we be indulging ourselves in these things? Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8. Mm-hmm. It is better to trust in the Most High.
It's better to trust in the Most High, read.
Than to put confidence in man.
Because when our people indulging themselves in what's going on in this country, if you didn't know, America's going to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. It's going to sink like Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie Titanic. It's going to sink.
I never let go, Jack.
Read.
Verse 9. Mm-hmm. It is better to trust in the Lord, when the Most High, than to put confidence in princes.
It's better to trust in the Most High because He's the one that put us in this predicament. The Most High is the one that's going to take us out. Give me Isaiah 41 and 10. He's the one that put us in this predicament because of what? Our disobedience. And He's the same one that's going to show us mercy and compassion once we come back and keep His commandments. The Most High is not a dead power. Read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10.
Read.
Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power.
Right.
I will strengthen thee.
Right.
Yea, I will help thee.
The Most High said He's the one that's going to help us. He's our strength. He's our power. Right? Read.
I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee.
The Most High is going to uphold us. Because we only can see destruction that's going to come on from here on out. Rather it happen next week, rather it happen tonight, rather the Proud Boys get their American flag, start swinging in the air, get a couple Coronas. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Read.
I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
With His righteousness. Who's the right hand of the Most High? Mashiach Yahushua. A lot of you ignorant brothers, you don't believe in Yahushua. You need to repent. This is all orchestrated by the Most High. He's the one that raises up somebody and puts somebody down. He's the one that puts somebody in position and take them out of position. We keep looking at things. We look at things on a mortal perspective. We need to look at it in a heavenly perspective. The Most High is the author of the script. We're just the actors trying to play our roles before we get the director's cut. Give me Psalms 75 and 6. Give me Psalms 75 and 6. Because promotion comes from the Most High. We think that our people put so much thought in voting. Did voting stop all the black men that's being shot in America? Did it stop the so-called black woman who's getting body slammed by the so-called Asian man for trying to run off from getting the nails done? Has that changed anything? No. Read.
There's a book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6.
Read.
For promotion coming neither from the east.
The promotion don't come from the east. Read.
Nor from the west.
Nor from the west. It's not going to come because of Russia's intimidating America. Donald Trump didn't make it into office because of what Russia did. Donald Trump went in there because the Most High chose him to sit in the White House.
That's right.
Read.
Nor from the south.
Nor from the south. Read.
But Yahweh is the judge.
But the Most High is the one who told us all day to sit in this White House in America right. Under Satan's authority. That's the type of power we serve. Give me Daniel 4 and 17. Give me Daniel 4 and 17. That's the type of power we serve. A lot of our people put too much trust in man. That's the issue. Us as so-called Israelites, the only thing we need to do is watch and pray. Because as we know prophecies is unfolding, we need to buckle down and stay steadfast in His word. Stay patient and have patience in His word. Read.
There's the book of Daniel, chapter 5, verse 17.
4 and 17.
4 and 17. This matter is by decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones.
Right.
To the intent that the living may know.
That the living might know. Because a lot of the so-called Negroes was astonished. A lot of you brothers are crying like women when Donald Trump stepped in the White House. Read.
That the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Read.
And give it to whomsoever He will.
That He giveth the kingdom for whosoever He will. That's the type of power we serve. He will give the throne to anybody who He wants. They didn't set up Saul to rule over the nation of Israel. And He knew Saul was going to mess up. He knew it. Read.
And set it up over it the beast of men.
Read it again.
And set it up over it the basest of men.
And He set it up to the basis of man. Donald Trump is the basis of man.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the basis of man, correct?
Can't.
The Most High chooses who He will. When we look and see that Iran is ready, ancient Persia is ready to go to war. Gog and Magog is ready to go to war. Russia, Meshach, they're ready to go to war. The Most High is waiting for the elect to be sealed, the children of Israel to come back in repentance.
Since since Trump came into office, or before he came into office, he was exclaiming that Obama made us the laughingstock of the world. He comes in office and he literally is the laughingstock of the world. World leaders are literally laughing at him now. He's caused whatever bonds America had with their allies to be broken. They're starting new alliances without America now. Like I said, he's literally set this up for the Third World War. And we have no allies to protect us now. So, you're right.
Fine, give me Mark 3 and 24. Because if you look at it, I remember my captain, what he said in the group chat earlier. America is not a democracy, it's a republic. They give us some type of image or some type of mirage that is a democracy. It's not a democracy. They're showing all these popular votes, if I'm correct. That's the right terminology.
Yes.
Right, but it's really about the electoral votes. They know who they want to sit on inside the White House. They give our people a false perception that their votes matters. Read.
Here's the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24.
Read.
If a kingdom be divided against itself.
The kingdom of America is divided amongst itself. Half of them wants to be straight, half of them wants to be homosexual.
Oh, God.
Half of them wants to go to war, half of them don't want to go to war. Half of them wants to get rid of the niggers, half of them don't want to get rid of the niggers. It's bad business. America's divided right now. If you don't see it right now, maybe you need to go get a bottle of Red Stripe right now to loosen you up so you can see what's going on in America.
Open your eyes.
This is everything that we've been praying for America to fall. America's slowly collapsing in on itself. Many of our forefathers, they wish they could have seen these times right now. Give me Matthew 15, 16. Many of our forefathers wish they could see the day where Babylon the Great falls and be destroyed. We're living in the times right now we could see it. At any moment, the Most High could take us out of this captivity. 13, 16.
13, 16. Gotcha.
Matthew 13, 16.
Here's the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 16. And it says, But blessed are your eyes.
The Most High says, blessed are your eyes. Read.
For they see.
For they what?
For they see.
For they see. Read.
And your ears, for they hear.
For they hear. We're living in the time era. Remember when Yahushua came back, what did the apostles ask Yahushua? Will you at this time restore the kingdom of heaven unto Israel? Because they were sick and tired of the Romans. Our brothers in the ancient Sakari, they were tired of the Romans. Simon Bar Akbar, John of Gascala, these men were tired of the Romans. We're living at a time right now where we get to see white people for Joe Biden shoot white people for Donald Trump. That's a beautiful sight. I think Moses would have been crying if you've seen that. We're living in a time right now, we're seeing the children of the Most High come back. And the so-called white man is devouring one another.
Yeah, we're literally seeing white on white crime right now at an all-time high. You have the so-called Proud Boys, and then you have the Antifa. And they going at it. They shoot at each other. They beat each other down in riots. People are getting stabbed up. because they want one devil, but they don't want the other devil. Either one, we win. So
Right. One half want Lucifer, the other half want Satan. Continue reading.
verse 17.
Mhm.
For verily I say unto you,
Mhm.
that many prophets and righteous men
Many prophets and righteous men, read.
have desired to see those things which ye see.
Many of them wish they could have seen what you see. Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Ezra, Moses, Luke, Matthew. They wish they could have even seen this firsthand. What's going on in this country? Read.
And have not seen them.
And have not seen. They passed away. Read.
And to hear those things which ye hear.
That we hear.
And have not heard them.
And have not heard them. The day that the children of Israel said, damn, I'm tired of being a Negro in America. It's time for me to come back to the Most High. The games is up. It's time for me to come back home and serve the Most High. Many prophets wish they could have seen these things right now. Go back to where you was at. In Mark.
This book of Mark chapter 3 verse 24.
Mhm.
And if a kingdom be divided against itself,
Mhm.
that kingdom cannot stand.
That kingdom can't stand. America can't stand right now. America's on one foot right now, like it's doing like a drunk test by the police. It can't stand. Because at any given moment, it's becoming unstable right now. Read.
And if a house be divided against itself,
Because the House, the Republican House, and the
Democratic house,
Democratic House, right now, they're unstable right now. They're fighting from tit to tat. Read.
that house cannot stand.
That house cannot stand. Read.
And if Satan rise up against himself,
Now, sir, read.
and be divided, he cannot stand.
He cannot stand. He can't stand. This country is never going to stand again. Read.
But at an end,
Right.
no man can enter into a strong man's house.
Let me get Sirach 14:5. Because when you look at the so-called white man, for you so-called Negroes, you brothers that think you so educated, right? The white man have so much of his own people that's poor and broke,
Yep.
that's begging for money. They said that they were in the military for 30 years, flipping billboards, asking for $1 by the so-called Negro. Right?
I got some of that.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
there are, I believe at the time, was 27 veterans that kill themselves a day because they don't have enough health care or they're not being taken care of properly. This government told them that if you're going to fight for us, we'll never forget you. We'll always take care of you. A majority of our veterans are on the streets. A lot of them are poor and homeless on drugs. The VA system has set up to protect them and take care of them is almost being privatized right now under Trump. So private corporations can make money off them. That's what's happening to the veterans that went to go fight for this country. They were deceived, and now they're paying for it.
Right, give me Sirach 14:5.
The book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
He that is evil to himself.
Because the so-called white man is evil to himself. America's evil to themselves. All these poor that they see in the streets, all the homeless, all the hungry that they see. Read.
To whom will he be good?
How is he going to be good to anybody else and he's evil to himself? They hate themselves. They have no mercy towards one another. All these restaurants that they have in America, all these food corporations that they have, they've thrown away all these foods. And they don't even think about giving it to the so-called homeless white man. Not even Jake, not even Israelites. They don't even give it to their own, so at least they can eat.
So the excuse on that side, it's like cut you off again. But the excuse on that is that they're worried about being sued. It's always an issue of them losing money. So they have programs that they used to give to help the poor, but they stopped doing them because they lose value on it and not making enough money. And also they're worried about being sued. So they can't make any money off it, they trash it out. And that happened, I used to work at a grocery store. Whatever food we had, we used to go to a homeless shelter. But they stopped doing that because they're worried about being sued. Because if someone gets sick off the food, they'll lose some money. So the greater good was outweighed because they don't want to lose a penny. That's what Esau cares about.
So when you hear things like that, how do you have hope that the so-called white man will do anything for you?
They're not.
How do you have hope for that?
You mentioned the homeless before. One more thing. It costs about $10,000 to home the homeless. Majority of these high-rise in these cities, there's lots of buildings that are vacant. No one sits there because of corporations from outside or people that's trying to wash their money. They buy all these homes and high-rises, but it sits empty. But you cannot put someone there because it's someone else's money that's being put to a different use. So instead of helping people, what they do is they put homeless people on buses and ship them to other states or out the city to make the city look clean. So when tourists come by, they're not being hassled by all the homeless that's there. That's why you have so many people down here in Florida, because they push them from main cities like California or New York, and they send them on buses down here in one way. That's why you see so many people that's around.
Powerful information. So when you see that the so-called white man is doing these type of things, how do you have hope that he's gonna do anything for you? That there's just gonna be any good that come out from an evil man? Because the Most High is confounding the wisdom in America right now. When you look at what's going on, you know the Most High is pouring out a perverse spirit in America. Give me Isaiah 19:14. Give me Isaiah 19:14. We see that the Most High is pouring out a perverse spirit in America, that they don't know what to do anymore. America literally don't know what to do anymore. And the nations, they see it. The Most High said he revealed the nakedness of America to the nations. Read that for me.
Here's the book of Isaiah chapter 19 verse 14. The Most High had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
The Most High mingled a perverse spirit. Read.
And they have caused Egypt to err in every... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, read it.
And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
And you see that he's causing Egypt, which is America, to earn every work. No matter what they do, they're gonna earn. Because we think, and a lot of us in this truth, we think if Joe Biden win, that we're gonna be in this captivity for 400 years. But we don't realize prophecy is gonna happen. The word of the Most High never comes back void. It doesn't. Give me Obadiah 1:7. Because he's taking out their wisdom. It's only a matter of time before we get out of this captivity. And it's all according to the scriptures. When you look at the prophet Obadiah's prophecy, the Most High is taking the wisdom from Teman. Teman is actually what you would consider the brains of Esau, the wise man, the one who has the breakdowns for the nation of Edom. It's right after Amos.
That's what they showed.
Obadiah 1:7.
It is. Right next to it. Here's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 7. All men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
The men that was at peace with America, all these other nations that was in league with America, read.
And prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Right.
There is none understanding in him.
Read.
Verse 8. Shall I not in that day, say the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
The Most High is destroying the wise men of Teman. They're wise men. They're smarts. They're political leaders. The Most High is destroying. Not too long ago, I believe about a year, maybe 2 years ago, every week on CNN, you see a new senator, a new CEO stepping down because of sexual allegations.
Yep.
You were seeing that it was crazy. How many of their officials you see stepping down because they have that fornicating spirit. Read.
And understanding out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau.
That he's going to take out the understanding out of the mouth of Esau. Read.
And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off.
That the Most High's determination to cut off the nation of Edom. We see that just like how the Most High destroyed Egypt, it wasn't at one go. It was piece by piece. Plague after plague after plague. And let the plague resonate a little bit. Then he move on to the next plague. That's just how the Most High works. Everything's not at a one shot, one go. When we look at what happened the Most High did with the Canaanites, he didn't completely annihilate the Canaanites out the land. He sent hornets to take them out piece by piece. So to gradually take them out and weaken them. That's what he's doing with America. Give me Jeremiah 49:7.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Most High.
Right.
Most High of hosts. Is wisdom no more in Teman?
He said it again. Is there no more wisdom in Teman? Read.
Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?
Right.
Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Teman.
Because we see that they don't know what to do anymore. No matter what policies they do, no matter how much you try to make a leagues with other nations, that this country is still crumbling. We see that the so-called white man's population is slowly just dwindling as a population. And they see it. They see that we're not scared anymore as a nation. In ancient times, they kind of called a so-called Negro a nigger in his face. Now, if he does that, a 6'11", 250-pound football player, Jake, will put him on his face on the floor. They weren't accustomed to that. They were accustomed to seeing us weak and scared and being fearful of them. This country is falling slowly. Give me a Job 20 and 22. Give me Job 20 and 22. But just like when you see with Egypt and these other nations, the Most High always judge a nation in the fullness of their wickedness. That's what he told Abraham. Because the Amorites' wickedness wasn't suffice yet. Their wickedness hasn't hit the top yet before he could judge them. Read that for me.
This book of Job, chapter 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency,
the Most High say, in the fullness of his sufficiency, read,
he shall be in straits.
Right?
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
Every nation is waiting to take for that strike. They're waiting for the perfect opportunity to destroy America. Read.
When he is about to be full, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High cast the fury of his wrath upon him.
When America's at their peak, when America thinks it's the best time, that's when the Most High is going to bring the judgment down. That's when he's going to bring in the missiles, and the plagues, and the fire, as it is written in the scriptures, at the fullness of their wickedness. Read.
And shall rain it upon him while he is sleeping.
Right, read.
Verse 24. He shall flee from the iron weapon.
Right, he shall flee from the iron weapon. What are these iron weapons? The ICBM missiles. Thermonuclear fire. Read.
And the bow of steel shall strike him through.
And the bow of steel, which is the weapon, is still going to strike him through. Judgment is still going to happen. Give me Proverbs 21 and 1. Proverbs 21 and 1. Because either way, if Joe Biden wins, we're still going to go to third world nuclear. We're still going to go to the World War III. Yahushua is still going to come back. Somebody's going to have to fight his chariots in the sky. Rather it's Donald Trump, rather it's Putin, rather whoever it is sitting in America White House. Somebody's going to have to use his Space Force to fight Yahushua. Somebody's going to have to try to stop us from being saved. It's going to happen regardless. Read.
21 and 1?
21 and 1.
Okay. The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High. The heart is the mind, the thought patterns. When you look at with Egypt, with Pharaoh, didn't Pharaoh want to let the children of Israel go? But who stopped them? Wasn't it not the Most High? A lot of us have this concept of free will. There's no free will in the scriptures. The Most High has control of everything. Read.
As the rivers of water, he turned it whatsoever. He turned it whithersoever he will.
He turned it whatsoever he will.
Whithersoever he will.
Whatsoever he will. Give me Isaiah 55 and 11. Because the script has been written already. This Bible is the script. The Most High gave us the script right here. He gave us the cheat code, the prophecy right here. Everything's going to go according to the will of the Most High. Just like when we left, when we was in the wilderness, he told us we would go in slavery in slave ships. Even though it happened 1,000 years, 2,000 years later, the script had to follow through. Everything in the prophecy had to play out. And every prophecy that's going to happen in America is going to play out. Read.
Here's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11.
Read.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
Right.
It shall not return unto me void.
The word of the Most High is not going to return back void. It's going to go out and accomplish what the Most High desired for it to be. Read.
But it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whatsoever I sent it.
Well, it's going to prosper in whatsoever that the Most High, wherever the Most High intention was. Because some of us, we don't see the destruction of America happening next year. We don't see it happening, hopefully, in 2 weeks from now. We don't see it. But it's going to happen regardless. You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. Give me Job. Go back to Job. Give me 15 and 21. Job 15 and 21.
It's the book of Job, chapter 15, verse 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness.
Because when you look at it, the so-called Edomites, they don't believe they're gonna go back. They're gonna go back to a low state. The low state they're gonna go to is captivity under the Israelites. They don't believe this. This is why they're fighting so hard. This is why the Proud Boys are fighting so hard. Read.
And he is waited for of the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread.
They're looking for ways to try to get America back to being on its feet. They're looking for ways to make America great again, which means have these Negroes and Hispanics in slavery. Read.
Saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at hand.
He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. He knows it's going to come. He knows the prophecy have to be fulfilled. These higher echelons of the so-called white men, they know we're the children of Israel. If you didn't know this already, they know we're gonna destroy America. They know we're gonna reign in the kingdom of heaven. They know Yahweh is the so-called black man. This is common knowledge to them. Read.
Verse 24. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid.
Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. Because all hell is about to break loose already in America. The thing is you so-called Negroes, are you ready? Are you ready to see 10,000 die on your right and 1,000 die on your left? Are you ready to see people invading houses, race riots, bodies being thrown in the streets, and nobody burying them? Are you ready for that? Read.
They shall prevail against him as a king ready to battle. For he stretched out his hand against Yahweh and strengthened himself against the Almighty.
Right? Didn't he exalt himself against the Most High? When the so-called white man put the so-called Negro in slavery, he declared war with the Most High. When he touched the silver and gold of the Heavenly Father, he declared war with the Most High and Yahweh. And all these things are going to be recompensed on his head. Give me 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. 2 Corinthians 13 verse 8. We're going to go through some prophecies. Because we see some of these things happening on a small scale. We got to be prepared to see some things that happen in America. The Most High said, only with our eyes shall we see the reward of the wicked. Some things are going to happen. We're not going to leave here on a yellow brick road with Goldilocks and the three bears. We're not going to leave here like this. We're going to see the judgment of the wicked. We're going to have testimony of what happened in America to tell the generations to come. And it's going to happen. Read.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth.
They can't do nothing against this truth. They have this no swag Malone, these G-mans, and all these Christian apologists characters coming against the Israelites. You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. Read.
But for the truth.
Before the truth. No matter how they try to twist the word of the Most High, try to hide the archaeology and the history, try to distract us with their election. They already know who's gonna sit on the throne already. No matter what they do, the word's still gonna have to go out. The prophecy's still gonna have to be fulfilled.
I got something on that.
Go ahead.
So the electors, they're the ones that decide who the next president is, not the popular vote. But who are these electors? When you do the research, they are former insiders, so former politicians, former senators, former people in the Senate. They're basically politicians. They're all in the same smoke-filled back rooms and know who they want to vote for. So when you cast a vote for someone, you actually choose an elected to vote for you. You don't actually choose who the president is. What you're doing is the popular vote, but someone in your state is elected to cast a vote for you. That's what those electors are. That was enacted, I think, after the so-called Emancipation Proclamation, or when we got the right to vote. That was brought in to be a way that they can still have the power when you vote. So no matter who you voted for, they still get to decide who they actually want to win. And that's what electors are. That's why public vote doesn't mean anything. And they're trying to abolish the electoral college right now, but it's still not happening. They're not going to get rid of their only seat of power.
Go ahead. Give me Zechariah 14:13. Zechariah 14:13. Prophecies is still going to have to happen in America. There's going to be race riots. hopefully, if the right devil wins, we're gonna see race riots happen all next year and on until this country is destroyed. It's prophesied right here in the scriptures. These things are gonna have to happen before we leave, and they're not gonna stop. Rather, Joe Biden win, it's still gonna have to happen. We're gonna have to prepare ourselves. The prophecy's already here. The scriptures is already here. If you're caught in this destruction to come, it's because you weren't reading your scriptures. You aren't showing yourself approved. Zechariah 14:13. It's high time for us to come back and serve the Most High, man. It's like all people put their trust in man. It's time for us to come back and put our trust in the scriptures again. The scriptures is the blueprint so we could get into this kingdom. Zechariah 14:13.
This book of Zechariah, chapter 14:13. And it shall come to pass in that day, but a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them.
He said a great tumult from the Most High should be amongst them. Read.
And they shall lay hold, every one their hand on his neighbor.
Every man is going to put their hands on their neighbor. What does this mean? Civil unrest, civil violence. These things are going to happen, and we see it's happening. Not too long ago, when we was in the Coconut Grove teaching the word of the Most High, there was riots. They were burning police cars because of the Black Lives Matters movement. We see these things are happening on a small scale right now. They're going to continue escalating. Read.
And his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
Every man is going to put his hand against his neighbor. Read.
And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem.
Give me 2nd Ezra 15:16. We see it's happening.
16:15.
And like the officer was saying, Donald Trump was already, he have his war dogs ready. Zechariah 15:16. I mean 2nd Ezra 15:16.
15:16. Page over. Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 16. And it says, For there shall be sedition among men.
He said there should be a sedition amongst men. That's an uprising. That's violence. Read.
And invading one another.
They're going to be invading one another. Read.
They shall not regard the kings nor princes.
So who are the kings? The kings is what you call your senators. Your kings is your presidents. Your princes is your local officials. Read.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go in the city.
There's gonna be times where you're not gonna be allowed to go into the next city. There's gonna be quarantine, right? We see these things are happening. They're gonna be using the military to pass out vaccines. These things are gonna happen in America. Read.
A man shall desire to go into a city,
right,
and shall not be able.
And he's not going to be able to. Read.
That's actually prophecy too.
Yeah, come on. Read.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Right.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
A man's not going to have no pity against his neighbor. We see these things are happening. Read.
But shall destroy their houses with the sword,
right, and
spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread.
Because of their what?
The lack of bread.
There's going to be a shortage of resources coming. Rather it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump, these things are going to have to happen. Rather if stinking Hillary makes it after them, even if she get a chance to sit on the throne.
She might.
She might, right? These things are still going to have to happen.
This is Joe Biden's third time at running. It's the farthest he ever made it.
Right.
He never made it out of the caucuses before.
Right.
So never know. And for great tribulation. Verse 20. Behold, said the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth.
That's it. Give me 2nd Ezra 16:27.
2nd Ezra 16.
Move on to the next chapter. 16:27.
Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 27. So that the man shall desire to use another, so that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves, and in the clefts of the rocks, as an orchard of olives upon every tree. There are left 3 or 4 olives. or when as a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them, but diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses.
So the Most High
with
said that there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be getting put to death in these last days. The spirit of vengeance is going to be out there. The Most High is going to start putting people to death left and right, usually by the hands of man, of course. And these things are going to happen in this country. Continue reading.
Verse 32, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms.
Women are going to mourn because why? They're going to be losing their husbands in these times to come, or their little boyfriends in modern terminology. Read.
The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed.
And what war are we anticipating right now? We're anticipating World War III. It's according to scriptures. These things are going to happen, regardless of who sits on the throne. Read.
And their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them.
Right.
Ye servants of the Most High.
The Most High said, hear these things and understand them, ye servants of the Most High. Because a lot of us, of our people that know the Israelites, they're putting trust in Smith and Wessons and all these things. There's nothing wrong with having it, but don't put your trust in it like that's going to be your salvation. That's not going to be your salvation. It's the Most High who's going to be our salvation. He's the one that's going to protect us in the times to come, in these last days. We have no hope in America. America's been against us since its foundation, since the foundation of thereof. Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 57. For us in the truth, what does the Most High require from us right now? If you haven't been putting work, you need to start putting in work. If you've still been slacking in the words of the Most High, you need to gird up your loins and start being a man and woman of the Most High power. It's high time for us to start taking this thing seriously. Salvation's right there. We could taste it. We could smell it. We're not talking about the rock, right? We could smell it. It's right there. Read.
15:37?
15 and 57. 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 57. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our either one, Hamashiach Yahushua.
Because the victory has already been prophesied in the scriptures. Us winning and being in the kingdom was already prophesied. Read.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
The Most High say, be ye steadfast, stand fast in this word, stand fast in his faith, stand fast in the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. A lot of our people are stumbling in the laws of the Most High, in our culture. If you're offended by our culture, don't be an Israelite. Go back and be a Negro. Because destruction is coming to America whether you like it or not. Read.
Unmovable.
Unmovable. Read.
Always abounding in the works of the Most High.
Always abounding in the works of the Most High. Not going on Facebook, Instagram, MySpace. Not just being a background character. Standing firm in the word of the Most High. Being found in the works of the Most High. Read.
For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain.
Because this labor is not in vain. Us going out and prophesying to you is not in vain. Us keeping the commandments is what's causing this country to fall. What precept you got?
John 15, where it kind of starts at 1. It talks about the fruits of the works. And
We're not going to go there. Continue reading.
For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Most High.
Our labor is not in vain. The words of the Most High endureth forever. All these things that's written in the scriptures have to happen. So whether who you see is about to sit on the throne, if he's not sitting on the throne already, these things are going to happen. The prophecies are going to have to be fulfilled. The Most High is going to cover us in these last days. Give me Job 5 and 19.
Hasn't moved yet.
Come. He's going to cover us in these last days. We're not going to have to lift a finger against the white man right now. If you're found keeping the commandments in the faith of Yahushua, you're showing yourself to be a profitable servant, not a Facebook, not an Instagram, not a Yahoo, not a just come late to Shabbat Israelite. Doing the work of the Most High in the faith of Yahushua, showing the Most High you're worthy to be protected, then you have nothing to worry about. Read.
The book of Job, chapter 5, verse 18. For he make it sore and binded it up.
19.
He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles.
The Most High is going to deliver us in 6 troubles. Read.
Yea, in 7.
Mm-hmm.
There shall no evil touch thee.
No evil is going to befall us if we're keeping the commandments with honesty and sincerity in the faith of Yahweh. Read.
In famine,
Mm-hmm.
he shall redeem thee from death.
Right?
And in war, from the power of the sword.
Because we know war is coming to America. War is coming to America. Not for soon to come. You're not going to be able to go to Walmart to get great value chicken nuggets anymore. You're not going to be able to go to the gas station and bring your husband a slushie to drink for dinner. These things are going to be cut off soon. And as Israelites, we need to come back to our heritage and learn how to provide for our own. Keep the commandments of the Most High. Read.
Verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue.
When we see all these race riots happening, when you see these houses are being invaded, when we see that the vaccine is coming, when we see all these things is happening, we're going to be hid by the Most High. Read.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Now we're going to be afraid of destruction that cometh. Read.
At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh.
The Most High said we're going to laugh. He said this. We are going to laugh. Why? Give me Isaiah 65:13.
Verse 13. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 13.
Why are we going to be able to laugh? Isaiah 65:13.
Therefore thus said the Most High,
Right?
the Most High power, behold, my servant shall eat.
The Most High says we're going to eat. When these things are happening, we got to understand who the power we serve. When Elijah shut up the rain for 3 years upon the whole planet Earth, the Most High, he was still eating and drinking. Ahab and Jezebel, they were sweating. They were still eating and drinking when these things is happening. That's the power we serve. When Daniel was in the lion's den, the Most High used an angel to get Habakkuk to bring Daniel some hot soup to drink all the way in Babylon. That's the power we serve. Read.
But ye shall be hungry.
The Most High says the wicked is going to be hungry. The wicked of our people, they're going to be hungry. Read.
Behold, my servant shall drink.
They're going to drink. We're going to be drinking. Probably if Donald Trump wins tonight, before we leave, we're going to drink some wine and give a toast to the Most High because he's going to destroy America. Read.
But ye shall be thirsty.
But they're going to be thirsty. The wicked of our people is going to be thirsty. I don't want to repent. The nations are going to be in tribulation, fighting one another. Read.
My servant shall rejoice.
We're going to rejoice. When America is going to be destroyed right before our eyes, we are going to rejoice. We're going to have the pure Hennessy imported in for a special occasion. Salvation's around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Read.
But ye shall be ashamed.
But they're going to be ashamed because why? We're coming back to serve the Most High. We have nothing to fear as servants of the Lord. Go back to where you was at in Job.
Let's see. Where was I?
You should be at verse 21. 21.
Okay. This is Job chapter 5, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue.
All right.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Mm-hmm.
At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh.
Scripture said we're going to laugh because the Most High is going to provide. Read.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field.
The Most High said we're going to be in league with the stones of the field. So what does that mean? When you see a stone in a field, there could be violence going around it. Everything. Nothing's going to happen to that stone.
It's not moving.
It's unmovable.
That's right.
The Most High is comparing us to these stones. When we see destruction happening in America, we're going to be that unmovable stone. We're going to be in league with the stones of the field. Mm-hmm. Read.
And the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee.
The beast of the field is going to be at peace with us. The so-called white man, when he have his Donald Trump hat, he say, good morning. I might give him a good morning too. Because I know they're going to go fight each other. And I'm not going to do nothing about it.
That's right.
Because that's prophecy of the Most High. Read.
And thou shalt know that thou shalt know that that tabernacle shall be in peace.
That our tabernacle should be in peace. Our people is waiting. A lot of you brothers that think that you're going to go fight the white man when the race war happened. I see a lot of posts on social media. I can't wait till the Most High bring the race war. I'm ready. Negro, the Most High don't want you to go to war with the white man in America. He wants us to keep the commandments of the Most High. Give me Matthew 10:16. A lot of our people are stacking up guns, getting cannons and grenades, and want to go fight the white man. It's one thing if you defend yourself. Don't go out there and fight the white man when these race wars happen.
Stay at home.
Because you have a pistol, I wouldn't be surprised if the white man have a satellite with a laser beam on it. That's the type of technology they're dealing with. Matthew 10:16.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep.
The Most High says sheep. Sheep are docile animals. Read.
In the midst of wolves.
Or in the midst of wolves. We're among these nations. If we want the Most High's protection, we need to keep the commandments, the faith of Yahushua, and let them destroy each other. That's what we need to do. Read.
Be ye therefore wise as a serpent.
We need to be wise as a serpent, has discerned the prophecies in the scriptures. Scriptures say covet prophecy. Because the scriptures let us know what's going to happen so we can prepare for it. So if you fall by the sword, you fall out on the sword because of your own ignorance. Read.
And harmless as doves.
And has harmless as doves. We let them fight each other. We let them worry about who's going to sit in the White House. If you came in this truth, you already voted. I voted about almost 6 years ago. You probably when you came in the truth.
This year.
He voted earlier in the year. We voted for Hamashiach Yahushua.
That's right.
That's what we voted for. So we shouldn't be entangling ourselves with what's going on. The time is going to come when we're going to be able to rise up against the prey. But it's going to be on the Most High's time. When we're saved, it's going to be on the Most High's time. When Yahushua come back and crack the skies, it's going to be on the Most High's time. The only thing we need to do, keep the commandments of the Most High, prepare ourselves to see the worst. Because nothing good is coming out of America from here on out. Give me Micah 4 and 12. Micah 4 and 12. If you don't see what's going on right now, you're not motivated to do the work of the Most High, it may be. Maybe this is not for you. Maybe, right? Because this, what you see in America should be motivating you to go out and do the work. If you're a brother and you're still stuck in the bosom from not doing the work of the Most High, it's time for you to come and go do the work of the Most High. If you're a sister that refuses to submit, refuses to go learn how to do things to provide for the nation, maybe it's time for you to stand up and start doing these things. Because nobody's seat is written in the kingdom of heaven. We're all fighting for that same penny that's going to be given to us by Hamashiach Yahushua through the Most High. Micah chapter 4 verse 11. It's high time for us to come back and start heeding to the scriptures, man.
It's the book of Micah chapter 4 verse 11.
Right?
Now as many nations are gathered against thee.
The Most High says, now also many nations are gathered against thee. This is a future prophecy. For you brothers who's ready to go fight with the white man, who ready to go get a bazooka, like what's his name, Mad Dog?
Rambo or something.
In that movie, don't drink OJ while we're crossing the street or something like that, right? Read.
But I say, let her be defiled. Let our eye look upon Zion.
Because then that's what the nations are saying. They want to see us defiled. They want to see us break the commandments of the Most High. They want to see you vote for America. And where Joe Biden at? Read.
But they know that the thoughts of the Most High, not to understand his counsel.
Mm-hmm.
For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor.
The Most High is going to gather the nations. The Most High is going to do this work. For us, our work is learning how to keep the commandments. It's just like if you're a father and you have a child, right? You're going to start them with little tasks before you move on to big tasks. Mm-hmm. Before you could go out and start a congregation, you need to learn how to be a soldier. You need to learn how to boom the floor and mop the floor when at the appointed time. Before you take on the responsibility of teaching the flock of the Most High in another city, another zone. Before we could take over the world, we need to learn how to deal with civil matters, how to forgive your brother, how to deal with thieves, how to keep the Shabbat service holy. We need to deal with these small things first before we move on to the big things. Read.
Arise, thresh.
What did the Most High say?
Arise, thresh.
This is going to be a future commandment by the Most High. Read.
Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion.
Right.
For I will make thine horn iron.
The Most High says He's going to make our horn iron. The horn is a weapon of a beast. It's the strength of a beast. Read.
And I will make thy hoofs brass.
Right.
And thou shalt.
What did He say?
And I will make thy hoofs brass.
Right.
And thou shalt beat in pieces
what did
many.
He say?
And thou shalt beat in pieces many people.
The Most High says, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people. Mm-hmm. The Most High is the one who's going to give us a commandment to beat these nations. And beat them to pieces like the prophet Micah is prophesying right here. Mm-hmm. Read.
I will consecrate their gain unto the Most High.
Right.
And their substance unto the Lord unto the Adawan of the whole earth.
And we're going to take all the substances and give it to the Most High. The time is going to come If you're not serving the Most High, it's time for you to get your mind together. If you still want to be a Hebrew Israelite, you still don't want to do the work of the Most High, it's time for you to get up, repent, and start coming and laboring and do this work. And that goes as well for our women too. Because our women have this idle spirit that they don't have to do any works. If you're not doing no work for the Most High, you're going to be left here in this country with the so-called white man. Because the scriptures say have the faith of a Mashiach Yahushua and keep the commandments. Faith is in your works. Do what Yahushua was doing. Heal the people, teach the commandments, and show them mercy. So let's do a shout out before we let's see who's on the chat board. We about to close out. Shalom to our brother Omar Reed. Shalom to our officer Kazak. Shalom to Samil. Shalom to Shamshuan Bani Hawada. Shalom to brother Uncle. Shalom to Officer Kayaram. Now before we close out, does anybody have any questions about what we spoke about today? We're going to leave the floor open for about 20 seconds. For 20 seconds. If you want to type in any questions. 20 seconds.
Straight ahead, man. We'll find out the score.
Because the scriptures say it's going to be hard for you to go to another city. For not too long, you're going to be able to go on YouTube and watch us anymore. It's going to be up to you to take the notes, to use the notes that you've been using, that you've been writing down from watching our videos, to apply them to teach the people. If you haven't been writing down notes, if you haven't been studying, going through the scriptures, you're going to be in for a rude awakening when the so-called white man shut down YouTube. When you can't go to a nearby prophet's home to hear the word of the Most High, you're going to be thinking the Most High ordained fairies and pixies during the first day of creation. So that's it. All right. Amajim upon you, Hakadam, rise and face the east. Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
How's the power?
Who's the power?
How's the power?
Wa Hashem.
Yahushua.
Wa Hashem.
Yahushua.
Read Psalms 18.
Psalms 18.
Come, brother Liddell's champion. Shalom, shalom. Like, share, and subscribe, brother. Hopefully we can see you in our congregation.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 1. I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. I will call upon the Most High, who is worthy to be praised, so I shall be saved from mine enemies. When sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of the ungodly men made me afraid. When sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Most High, and cried unto my power. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. When the earth shook and trembled, the foundations of my hills moved and were shaken, because he was worthy, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth. Devoured coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, where darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherubim, and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. But Most High had thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered. At the rebuke, O Lord, At the blast of thy breath, of thy nostrils, he sent from above. He took me. He drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them which hated me. For they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Most High was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Most High rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands, had he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Most High, and have not wickedly departed from my power. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also upright before him, and I kept thyself from my iniquity. Therefore had the Most High recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hand, in his eyesight. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. With the upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou shalt show thyself pure. And with the froward thou wilt show thyself froward. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down the high looks. Verse 28. For thou wilt light my candle, the Most High my power will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop.
Hallelujah.
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 Abba Yahweh, we come before you in the name of Amashek Yahushai to ask that you encamp us with your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and camp your angels around us and guide us, Yahweh. Whomever thou elect to be the king of Babylon, let him fulfill your prophecies, Yahweh. Destroy this country, I thought, Yahweh. Allow us to see your redemption. Allow us to see you show your mercy upon the nation of Israel, Yahweh. Please recompense our enemies because they have destroyed your nation, Yahweh. Please, Yahweh, I thought. Destroy all those that hate Israel, Yahweh, and have exalted themselves against you. Bahashem, Hamashek, Yahushai, the water, the Yad,